Hello and welcome to Courtside Chat here with Nash and Katrina. We're going to be talking a little bit about best players, most improved, and MVP race. We're going to get into the phone lines in a little bit, but not right now. We're going to talk first about best players. Nash, what do you think?
For the best player in the league right now, I don't know. That's a tough question for me, but I'm gonna go with Nikola Jokic. He was a great passer the whole entire time he was in the league this year. He almost averaged a triple double, and we ended up averaging a double double, and almost practically carrying his team a little bit to the NBA Finals with the help of Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Katrina? What do you think?
So I think for my top three, I'm gonna have to go about Jokic, Curry, and LeBron. I mean, of course it's LeBron. Of course I would say that's not very cliche, but I mean he's coming back. He's got a chip on his shoulder. They didn't do very good as much as he would want to, of course. So he's got something to prove, and I can say the same about Steph. It was a rough postseason, and it wasn't a great regular season on the road. They only won about 5 games on the road, which is kind of embarrassing if you're asking me. But Jokic, he led his team all the way to the finals, and he did it very calmly. And he's a very humble guy, and I think that he's a really good player, and he's really underrated just because he's not having the flashy look that maybe everybody else does have.
All good players, all flashy, and could possibly be best players. What about MVP race? What do you think, Nash? What is in your thought? Who is in the MVP race?
Last season Nikola Jokic got robbed of his MVP, and Joel Embiid won it. And then after winning it, he proceeded to he stopped playing basketball. So this season for my MVP, I'm gonna have to go with Jimmy Butler. He was a little inconsistent last season, come postseason, but I think this year, after getting a taste of that victory, he's definitely just gonna come back and step it up.
All right. And what about you, Katrina? What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with Giannis. He's 2-time MVP already, but in the 2022 race, I know he was the runner-up, and he's also coming in with a chip in his shoulder. I mean, he got knocked out 3-1 in the first round. I know that's not how he wanted to go out. He finished with about almost 40 points that game, but it just wasn't enough, and he also had 20 rebounds. But last season, he did average a double-double, which I think that's something he can work off of like he does every season. And, they have Chris Middleton and a few other guys coming back. So I think he could totally get that done.
Great players going on for MVP race. But what about like a most improved player who has not been doing very well but is going to bounce back this year? What do you think, Nash?
He did very good during the beginning of the season, but as the season went on, he slowly declined. I'm gonna have to go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great player offensively. He's got a very deep bag. The way he handles the ball just, it captivates the eye. And he's also a point guard, so obviously he can pass. And when he gets in the lane, defenders don't know what he's gonna do. He can mix it up every time, and he's very crafty. So he naturally players gravitate towards him, and he can move the ball around and get open looks.
Yes, good player. It could bounce back. What about you, Katrina? What do you think?
Well, Mikal Bridges, I think that's who's going to be for me. Last season he got traded over to the Nets, and that's a young team, and I feel like they found a way to come up a lot, with the whole KD and Kyrie drama. So I think he's totally going to improve, and I could easily see him winning that award. He came back and he averaged about 24, 25 points for the Nets. And, he can easily come off of that. And he also had some rebounds and some assists up there. He knows how to move the ball and get his teammates involved like Dinwiddie.
All good chats. The phone lines are open now. Our phone line numbers are 404-749 and 8340. Call us up. Ask any questions about basketball season going on. What about improved players? I'm curious to see, what do you think is going to be the team that's going to improve on this season that weren't doing very well last year? What do you think?
Team that I think is going to most improve, the
Yeah.
team as a whole?
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be the Suns. They got a lot of superstars on their team, but they just couldn't produce last season. in the postseason they lost. They lost in like the second round, and I just didn't like to see them go out like that. You know, I think with the asset of a great scorer like Bradley Beal, he's gonna really help the team rebuild as a whole and help them dominate.
Nice. Good call. Katrina, what about you?
For my most improved team, I'm gonna have to say the Suns. I mean, of course, they were already improved, but likewise, they've got some new assets, of course, and I guess we could call it a super team. And I hope they get Bobo more involved than the last team. He didn't get as much playing time as you probably would like to see, but I think this will be something that we could totally build off of, and it would be good.
All right, we got a call in coming in. What's your name and what's your question?
I'm John Schneider, and do you think Cam Thomas can be in the race for most improved player?
All right, good. Question was Cam Thompson, who's going to be improved player. All right, what do you guys think about that? You can say that question again, sir. I couldn't hear you. Or did I?
I believe that Cam Thomas will be the most improved player. Do you think otherwise?
Cam Thompson, do you know who that is?
All right. So for me, I'm not seeing that. I think even Jordan Poole would probably have something a little bit over him. You know, he just got traded over to the Wizards, and I think he could either sink or he could drown. He could swim or he could drown. But I think that he could definitely make something work with him and Kuz. And, he didn't have the best IQ, but it could totally improve over the season.
All right, but that's about all the time we got for today. This is Courtside Chat here with Nash and Katrina. I'm Samuel. Thanks for listening.